Brother, stop scrolling for a second, because what I'm about to say is going to change the way you read a woman's silence forever. See, every man thinks he can tell when a woman loves him until he meets the one who doesn't say a word, the one who feels everything but hides it behind composure, pride, and a calm that confuses you. She's not ignoring you. She's protecting herself from a kind of heartbreak you haven't lived yet. Some women have loved like wildfires, burning everything in their path, and when the smoke cleared, they swore they'd never burn that way again. So now, when they meet the man who might actually deserve their heart, love feels dangerous again, so they do the opposite of what they feel. They retreat, they whisper through actions, not words. Let's talk about the signs hidden in that silence, the signals that she's quietly fallen for you, even if she'll never admit it. First, her body reacts before her brain catches up. When you walk into the room, something in her shifts, the rhythm of her breath, the movement of her eyes, the tone of her voice. It's not flirting, it's presence. Her nervous system recognizes you before her thoughts do. The air between you gets heavier, softer, charged. That reaction isn't for every man. It's for the one her heart is trying not to notice. Second, she lets you see fragments of her truth, not the shiny, perfect version everyone else gets. She'll tell you about the time she lost herself, the dream that still scares her, the night she swore she'd never trust again. She's revealing her cracks, not for pity, but for permission to see if you can hold them without judgment. If she opens up without realizing it, brother, she's already feeling something deeper than she wants to admit. Third, watch how she syncs with you emotionally. You're annoyed, she gets quieter. You're joyful, she glows. You're lost in thought, she drifts with you. This isn't coincidence, it's connection. Her emotional rhythm is dancing with yours. She doesn't plan it, her heart just mirrors what it's drawn to. Fourth, she creates micro moments of closeness. Maybe it's the way her eyes linger a half second too long. Maybe she invents a reason to touch your hand when she doesn't need to. Positions herself near you in a group, yet acts like she didn't notice. It's subtle, safe intimacy. She's not ready to confess, but she's dying to feel something real in your presence. Fifth, she's aware of you even when you think she's not. She remembers the day you said you were tired. She asks if you ate, but not in a routine way, in a tone that says she actually noticed. She checks in at the exact time you needed someone to. That's not friendliness. That's caretaking, the quiet kind that only happens when affection has taken root. Sixth, she unconsciously alters her boundaries for you. She pulls back from other men, not because you asked her to, but because your presence recalibrates her standards. She stops entertaining shallow attention because deep down, she's already emotionally loyal. There's a sacred kind of devotion that happens before words are ever spoken, and it's worth noticing. Seventh, she studies your world. You might think she's just being polite, asking about your work or your passions. No, she's trying to understand what drives you. She's asking herself if she fits in your future, or if loving you would cost her another broken piece of herself. When a woman tries to know your mind, not just your story, she's no longer curious, she's invested. So what do you do with that? Because here's where most men fail. They mistake silence for disinterest. They assume she doesn't care, when she's actually trying not to drown in it. When you notice those signs, don't rush her. Don't demand clarity before she feels safe. Become the kind of man whose calm gives her courage. Be steady in a world that made her cautious. Show her that her emotions aren't a threat, they're welcome. You don't need to force confessions. Her heart will speak the moment safety replaces fear. The love that was once hidden will surface quietly. Then suddenly, like sunlight through curtains, the reserved woman will become radiant. The guarded one, fearless, because security is the language love understands best. Brother, pay attention. We live in a world obsessed with loud love, showy, dramatic, performative. But the real thing, it's often quiet at first. It hides behind eye contact that lasts too long. Behind a message she almost sends but deletes. Behind that way she says take care and actually means it. Don't ignore the soft love that stands before you simply because it doesn't scream. The soft kind builds kingdoms that last. And if, while listening to this, her face appeared in your mind, the one who's gentle, guarded, and hard to read, understand something. She's not emotionless. She's protecting something sacred. So here's what you do. Step into clarity. Offer consistency. Stand as peace in the storm of her memories. Not as a savior, she doesn't need rescuing, but as evidence that not every man repeats the pain. Be her calm. Be her safety. Be the man she stops doubting love for. If this message hits something deep inside you, pause for a moment. Breathe. Think of her. Then honor that realization, because understanding love in its silence is how men evolve. And if you felt that truth, type the word evolved in the comments, so I know you're one of the few who truly see what others miss, because love isn't always spoken. Sometimes it's sensed, sometimes it's hidden, sometimes it's hidden, and sometimes, brother, it's waiting right in front of you.